babes. Welcome to Soul Circle Tuesdays. I'm Serah Delane, your conscious lifestylist. Today we're going to talk about relationships, spiritual awareness. What else are we talking about? We're going to jam out first. We are going seriously old
like
school.
A moth to a flame burned by the fire.
Hi, Serah. Hi, Rainbow Heart Warrior. Awesome. Hi, Juliana, babe. Tea. Yes. I am doing my tea with my perfectly branded coffee cup, tea cup that my mama got me.
Like a moth,
you know. Good evening. Where are you? Sandy B Jewelry. Hi. Hi, Laura. Yes. Say hi to Soul Circle. Oh my gosh, you guys. Yeah, I'm on a little bit of a coffee detox. You know. How are you guys? Thank you. I appreciate that. Are we shuffling today? Hi, Sylvia. How are you guys doing? What are we talking about? What are our questions? Post today, yes. Let's dive deep in relationships. Come on, are we ready to get out of the shallow kiddie pool? I'm just saying. Maybe it's just me. Is it just me? Might be you guys. Hi, Noelle, or Noah Elizabeth. What are we talking about today, guys? What's going on in relationships? We're almost out of this Mercury retrograde. How's your relationship going? Hang on. Oh. God bless technology. Hold the phone, guys. Some of you may have jumped over onto YouTube. Hey, babes. All right, we're back. Back on Soul Circle Tuesday. I'm Serah Delane, the conscious lifestylist. Yes, I'm still streaming on YouTube. Poor connection, but we are back. Right as I'm saying Mercury retrograde. Seriously? We love you, technology. We love you, Mercury retrograde gods. Can you let us have our party or not? So much. Oh my God. Like, you really just gotta like let things roll off your back, off it. Like, it seems like so much energy. There's so much intense energy. There's so much, yes, there's still Mercury retrograde, like whatever other people are doing, there's lots of projection energy going on, fear, that's a whole other thing. So much of that going on, right? Are you guys resonating with that? Oh my God, I've gotten weird comments from people like projecting stuff where they're really just wanting love. We have to remember, whether it's Mercury retrograde having a panic attack, and it doesn't like our connections, right? Talk about poor connection. Poor connection, it says. Literally, that's what comes up. Poor connection on the phone, meaning, right? It's like, no, we don't want to, we can't stream you right now. There's a poor connection happening. And that's like, how many of us have a poor connection to our highest version of ourselves? If we have a poor connection to like our highest version, to our most authentic self, then we're going to have poor connection in our relationships. And then we're going to start projecting. We're going to have more fear. We're going to start projecting all over people. So like I was saying, there was even some comments that came up. Like, you have to remember that people are just wanting love too, and that they are disconnected. And it can also be a reflection of like where we might be disconnected in some conversation that we're having internally, right? So if everything outside of you is an echo. So I had some fun reflections on that today. I don't know why I want that one, but I do. We're going to let the music go because this is a great song. Oh my God, I love this song. Okay, so turn it down 10. If anything happens, we're on YouTube as well. Must have been love, but it's over now. Come on. I love it when I love it when that happens. Okay. That being said, whatever anybody is projecting onto you, right? It's their internal conversation, yes, right? How they're wanting love, how they're feeling disconnected within. They're wanting your help. They're like really wanting like your love and help and support. That's what underneath that they're really saying. They just don't know how to go out and say it that way, right? That being said, it can also be that external projection, right? Talk about projections. Your projection where like, what internal conversation are you having that then is having them show up in your environment, right? That you're having with yourself about whatever is going on. Your relationship to you, no matter who's coming at you, whatever it is they're saying, it's half their projection onto you, but it's half a reflection of what you might be saying within. Does that make sense? So like, thank you. I was having not so nice conversations with myself. I really was. Just being real. I've been just mostly focusing so much on health and the body, right? Really taking care of the body, really getting that to the next level. And in doing that, you feel kind of like crap. You know, I had a conversation with my nutritionist yesterday, and so we're putting me on a different eating regimen, right? My acidity level is a little higher, so I got to cut out the coffee. All of those fun things. And so then the conversation is like, what's wrong with my body? What's wrong with me, right? Anybody resonating with that one? And then what you get outside is a bunch of people critiquing you and your body. Does that make sense? So I'm like, okay, I had to resonate like with, like some of that was a projection on, right, of them. And then some of it was coming from my conversation that I was having about me, right? And that was just that was like the echo. Who here resonates with that? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Sorry, it was not scrolling, so I didn't see all of the comments. Weird communication stuff. Yes, that's all about Mercury retrograde, right? Yes, hearts. I love. Yes, yes, yes. I had 20 years of built-up feelings blow out through a group text with family. Ooh, man. Ooh. Give some heart, just love to that one. Yes, right. Okay. Someone you can deal with your love for onions. I don't know what that means. Yes, this song. You want my help, baby? Okay, we'll set up a session and we'll talk about it, whatever's going on. I've been asked to do something. Yeah, I know it gets a little bit loud in it, right? I've been asked to do something that doesn't resonate with me, but they are taking it as a rejection. Okay. I'm so done with this Mercury retrograde, Tammy. I love you. Okay, so remember when we were all in junior high, that little thing called peer pressure, right? And it's like, are you going to, hang on, I'm gonna pause this now. Thank you, Roxette, old school. Oh man. Love, 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 love that song. Okay, so do you remember when we were all in junior high and there was sympathy pains? Yes, sympathy pains. And by you not wanting, so this should resonate with everybody too, right? By you not wanting to do something, you setting what your values are, what your your values, right? This could, I don't know if this is romantic relationships, but this is, right? Friendships maybe, right? Or business, whatever. Same thing applies to any relationship. You set your values of what you want, right? And that's your standard. And then, and I don't want to say it's like the universe testing you, but it's almost like it's a higher version of you testing you to say, are you committed to that? Are you committed to, even if that means going against the grain from what everybody else is doing, But then that makes you the cycle breaker, right? That makes you like don't be afraid to stand out. We're not born here to fit in. We're born here to stand out. So if somebody's like, hey, how come you're not following the herd with what we're doing? And then is going to like project like guilt or take it as rejection. That's only a reflection of how like they might really want you to do something with them. And that's okay. In which case, then they're also not honoring what you want and what's good for you. Right. And so you don't have to like, don't take that on, if that makes sense. Right. Because what's true for you isn't necessarily going to be true for everybody else. Everybody has their own truth. Everybody has their own truth. Hi, Lizzie, baby. I'm so fucking proud of you, girl. You're such a badass. I won't go into why, but you are such a badass, and I just want to hugely acknowledge you. You've just been working really hard on yourself, and you're such a badass. So sometimes being like stepping out and standing up for what you truly believe in, and standing up for what you stand for, isn't going to always make people feel comfortable, because it's going to challenge in them. However, they're not standing up for themselves, or it's going to challenge in them, like you doing it gives them permission to do it, but then it's going to challenge whatever has them feel inadequate about whatever it is, right? And I'm getting very general because this will apply to so many different situations, but they always want you to stay in the vibration of where they are and not sort of reach whatever next level that is for you. Not saying that you're above them or higher than them. It has nothing to do with that. It just means you getting to whatever next level that is for you. And if you want to move into that, then move into that and say, I love you, I care about you, but this isn't resonating with me. It's not a rejection. That makes so much sense. And I have equally had to do that. And equally, I know that there's been a lot of people who've taken it as rejection, and yet it's your value system. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, I don't know. This is like old comics, and maybe this is like a 70s to 80s thing or whatever. But do you guys know Far Side comics? Like old school. I don't even know who it's Soul Circle's gonna know about Far Side. But there's this comic, right? And it's like all the birds are flying in sequence together, right? And then there's birds up in the sky, and then there's birds down on the ground, and they're walking in the bird sequence, right? And they're kind of looking up, and they're like, oh, look what they're doing. So on one level, it's like, are you going to watch what everybody else is doing and do that? Or are you going to like recognize that you have your own path no matter what? Even if you follow what some people are doing sometimes, but then ultimately like finding your path and what truly, truly works for you. And nobody can tell you whether, like, not, ooh, I'm going to say, not your parents, with love, right? But you're your own soul. So no one can tell you what your path is. That's for you to walk and for you to find, right? And so if somebody's going to take that personally, then like give them love, but ultimately their soul is not your soul. We're all connected up there. But down here, the path that you take and the choices that you make, that's all for you and your own experience. Don't let anybody ever make you feel guilty for that. No, not ever. Not ever, ever. You might lose some people. And that's okay. It's 100% okay. Because then you're going to find the ones that you do vibrate with, right? Same thing like Soul Circle. Right? Some people vibrate with this, some people don't, you know? There's somebody that left like a nasty comment on my thing, and I'm like, okay, she's not vibrating or whatever. I'm going to send it love, though. We don't have to take it personally. We don't ever have to take it personally. Right? Boundaries. Boundaries with love. Boundaries with love. 100% boundaries with love. Cool? What else we got? Let me scroll up. I missed some of those. Like, there's like so much fire with that for some reason, right? Like, I don't know, maybe that's just, I don't know if I'm feeling you guys or if that's like me. Like like part of my, that's honestly, this is why I love the Sacred Rebels deck. So honest too, if you guys are new, right? The cards that I'm pulling are from Sacred Rebels. Like, how are you gonna be a sacred rebel? Meaning not one that just goes out there ballistically, like causing chaos everywhere, but what are you gonna stand up and actually challenge? Which also means, what are you gonna then stand for? And like, have passion and conviction around that. Like, that's what's going to move anything forward. And being okay with, if that means like standing on your own for a little bit, then letting that be okay. Because that's your journey. And it's better to stand on your own, honoring your own truth, than standing with a group of people that you don't resonate with, that you feel either submissive to, or that you gave up some of your value just to fit in with them. Just to fit in. When you were born to just stand the fuck out in your amazing uniqueness. Which one resonates, but which one would you rather do? Like, fit in and like squish yourself into a version of you that you don't even like, just to have people that are your friends but not really your friends? Or stand on your own for a minute. Be brave enough to stand on your own for a minute. Follow your own truth. And then find the ones that resonate with that then end up supporting you in that. Like, I'm just saying that sounds like a way, way more fun game. But we have to like kind of have, yeah, a little bit of courage, a little bit of bravery to like push ourselves off of the like the bank of the river, push ourselves like out from the, you know, the birds flying all together, be the one that's like flying alone for a little bit and let that be okay. Knowing and trusting that then you're going to align with the ones, yes, amen, aligns with the ones that truly support you in whatever your path or vision is. Because then you might end up finding the ones that are on the same vision. They're like, hey, I've been doing it alone over here for such a long time too. Oh, cool, you have too? Awesome. Want to do it together? Cool. Now you're not alone anymore, right? Feeling that way with med school right now. Perfect example. And there's always a reason for the ones who are the cycle breakers, for the ones that are the sacred rebels, because that means you're challenging the norm. So you in med school, or anybody that's wanting to sort of challenge that norm, that's how we're moving culture forward. And you're having that sort of that feeling of like, that's a different kind of disconnection, right? You're like not connected with where they're vibrating at, because you're meant to find something that is not normal, right? If you think about it, like, we wouldn't have holistic health if we were all finding the same, you know, reading the same books, right? With like Eastern and Western medicine, right? Are two totally different practices. I'm just using this as an example. So no matter what you teach, either way, like, we wouldn't have one without the other if we didn't end up, like, if one person didn't say, hey, like, this doesn't fully resonate. Let me like go see if there's something else, something new and different, right? And somebody on this side, they're like, I don't know, maybe there's something more. Let me go see. And then them finding them something else new and different, right? You're feeling the disconnection with those things because you're meant to find that extra thing, whatever that is. I know I'm being very vague right now, because that's what you're meant to like be a stand for and be a support for, and create more energy around, that then will ultimately give other people permission to then do the same, right? Don't dim who you are. Don't dim who you are to make other people feel comfortable. I was having a conversation with my dad earlier today, and I was like, yes, we have conversation about spirituality, and I want to talk about love and relationships and higher awareness and all of these things, right? And yet we have a stereotype on like what that's supposed to look like. Like, I don't know, wearing Birkenstocks all the time, right? That was a very like, right, to give the stereotype of like the hippie type of vibe or whatever, right? Like, if you're vegan, you dress this certain way, or if you're spiritual, you have to act and speak and dress this certain way, and right? And we need to get out of all of these stereotypes and like break all of the molds. Because frankly, like I love spiritual enlightenment and reaching higher like vibrations and helping so many people do that. And I am not giving up my fucking heels for that. I'm not giving up my lipstick for that. I'm not giving up my heels for that. I love it. And it doesn't matter what anything looks like on the outside. It's what the message resonates with, right? Agree so much. Yes. Be who you are, whatever that is authentically, as you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. What other questions we got? And I see everybody on YouTube too. Walked away from people that wanted me to follow what they were doing and cut them off. With love. They're still watching me via social media. Okay. Because they're wondering like how, like the more that you step into like your light, this goes for everybody, your light, your radiance, and just speak your truth, the more they're going to be like, oh my God, like, what are they doing? How is she doing that? And there's going to be a part of them that's like, I wish I could do that. But maybe they weren't brave enough yet. And by you doing it, then you give people, unconsciously, you give other people permission to then end up standing up and speaking their own truth too. Right? So awesome. And I bet that totally sucked for a minute. Totally feel that. One thing that my dad always told me ever since I was young, and I've had to do this repeatedly, it's like the hardest thing that you'll ever have to do is grow out of certain friendships. And it's no judgment at all. You're not judging those people, but you're moving in the direction that you're wanting to move in. And then they're still watching you being like, how is she doing that? Like she broke, like she left. Because yes, we're relational beings and we want to come together, but let's not use the coming together, the relational aspect of us where we need that connection together. Let's not use that as being cliquey that then tries to hold each other down within this container, because then that's not true relationship. True relationship, romantic or otherwise, is an ever expanding process. Right? It's technically a relationship is its own consciousness. We look at relationship as like two people. I look at relationship as the thing that's in between the two people. And it's the alchemical process between those two people, or three or four or five, right? Or whatever that group is. And then the energy, the consciousness in the center. That's relationship. And there is nothing wrong with that container. So whenever we think there's something wrong in relationships, or whenever relationship or our relating is not working, that's the difference. It's our relating to each other that's not working. The relationship itself is fine. Don't blame anything on the relationship. It's like a child, right? It's like its own consciousness. And it's there to teach as much as it is for us to then be in relationship with it, right? But let's not use the coming together and creating these containers and relationships as a whole, whether it's with two people or multiple people, to then like keep that relationship constricted. That's like having a child that you never want to grow up. Am I explaining that in a way that makes sense? Hi, Danielle Page, baby. Oh my gosh, huge shout out. Amazing astrologer. Please go follow my badass babe. Does that resonate with you guys? Thumbs up. Okay, cool. It's how we're interacting with each other and how we're relating to the center of the relationship, like in the middle. And there's nothing wrong here, but we have to let that expand. So even in all of the coming together, like soul, this is a container. Soul Circle is a container, and we're all coming together, and yet is it expanding? We want it to be able to expand, right? We want it to be able to grow so that then other people can either gain benefit from connecting with all of you guys, right? If you haven't joined the Facebook group, there's I posted a thing in there where everybody can put where they are all over the world, and you can like connect with each other if you want to, right? You're in your PJs, Danielle? See, I can't do a live. Yes, you can, girl. Yes, you can. I support you. But thank you, baby. Okay. Yeah, don't feel guilty about anything. I mean, I get that, but let that guilt turn into love, right? Because there's nothing wrong with you saying, hey, this is the direction that I want to go. And that's true for you. That's you finding your own sovereignty. I believe we have to find our own independent sovereignty before we find our connections and our alliance, right? So I name my company Sovereign Alliance. It's like, you can't just be sovereign. Sovereign alone, like you're alone, right? But learning sovereignty outside of like codependency, right? Outside of like matrix understanding, finding your sovereignty first, and then coming into alliances, creating alliances with others that have found hopefully their own sovereignty as well, right? Because then nobody's like playing the like codependency game of like, oh, now I need you to be a certain way to have me feel fulfilled inside. Those relationships, those relationships are like so outdated, right? Like there's this new, I can feel it. I don't know how to name it yet, but there is this new relationship, or I should call them archetypes, right? There's this new archetype. I know, you know, there's been conversation about like, you know, the king archetype meeting the queen archetype, right? Or the alpha meeting the other alpha, right? This very like empowering, you know, sort of power couple partner kind of thing. And that can be for friendships as well. Right? So power couple friendships, you guys supporting each other, like, you know, equally like supporting whatever that looks like. We just got a bunch of amazing badass girls around on Sunday, right? And then it was like, hey, bring your laptops and like, let's support each other or encourage each other or whatever, right? Getting out of this catty, like, oh God, all the girl stuff, right? The old outdated jealousy, girls competitive stuff. And we all came together, and granted, it turned into less work on the laptop and more talking about sex, but you know, that's always going to be entertaining. And when it comes to friendship relationships, because that's a lot of alpha women, we're drivers and entrepreneurs and go-getters, right? And wanting then romantic partnerships with someone who's doing like the same type of thing. And I don't see it anymore as like alpha, because that's like two, it's like two of the same energies. And I don't think that's been working either, right? So Marissa Lace, hi baby, are we going to get juice soon, love? I saw Marissa post this thing, she's got the green juice. I posted my carrot juice today. Let's go get juice, baby. Same thing, girl. I see what you're doing. I support you. You've got like, we're all here trying to get the message out. Alpha never works. Exactly. It's like two Aries. Oh my God. Perfect. Exactly. Juice. Yes. Okay. So you guys have heard me talk about so many times, right? The balance of the masculine and feminine, all that stuff. I believe that there is this new archetype. Okay. I'm open to co-creating the name because I don't know what the name of it is. All I know is I can feel it and I can see it. But it's no longer alpha, because again, that's like it. Like they don't, excuse me, they like clash, right? They don't link together. It's like exactly like two Aries. Perfect example, Marissa. Thank you. And so it's like man having a balance of masculine and feminine within, and woman having a balance of masculine and feminine within, or man, or woman. Like this transcends like gay or straight relationships because it's not about gender anymore. It's about finding that connection within of the masculine and the feminine, showing up with whatever masculine energy is needed to counter whatever feminine energy is there. And then if that partner needs to be more masculine, and then this one would counter and bring in more feminine, right? When it's needed. But that's like, that's not two alphas. And it's certainly not two betas. And so it's like this, like, to me, that's true partnership. It's like showing up with what's needed in whatever moment. We have to bring so much more support even around the masculine and letting their emotions to show up. Because before, right, that's been like men have been taught to suppress their emotions. And in relationships, like being real, maybe like based on society, we haven't given them the room or the space to allow that to happen. Because we're like, oh my gosh, that's a girly thing. That's not a masculine thing. No, you're supposed to shoot some guns or go work out or box. Like, do you know what I mean? Well, what if you're a girl and you want to get rid of some energy by boxing and shooting some guns or something in a safe, contained space legally? Okay, make sure I say that. Woo! You guys know what I mean on that, okay? Like, go to a gun range or something like that, right? And hi, Go Lightly Healing. I love you so much. I love my crystals. That being said, where was I? Masculine and feminine showing up in that partnership. It's not alpha alpha, right? We've got to like find another name for it. I don't know what that is. Knock your ass out. Exactly. Okay, hang on. Let me see. When both are focused on their expansion and it's holding space and supporting from a true space of love, not lack. Exactly. Exactly. Yes. And true partnership. Totally. So we know the name. That's what we're talking. That's the new name of the relationship, right? Is maybe true partnership. But now, like, what is that for each person? Because that's also not a king and a queen. Because some queens, maybe one day she wants to act like a king. And maybe the king is going to end up acting like a queen one day. Or like, do you know what I mean? Is that like, is this resonating with you guys? It's expanded and expanded. Yes. And that way, the relationship, the container of the two people, whatever we call those, not alpha, alpha, right? The two masculine, feminine, and then relating, that alchemy together, then it becomes the sum of their two parts. Not, oh, I'm your other half. Who wants to be a half? Nobody wants to be a half. And then that relationship, the connection, the alchemy that gets created between the alchemical process, right? The element, we should say, that gets created between the alchemy of those two, then that continues to expand. From there, technically, if both parties are always up for new awarenesses about themselves, new awarenesses about the other person, then you could be able to wake up every single day and learn something new about your partner. If you were always expanding and always getting to a higher level of awareness, and so were they, then there would be always something new to learn about each other. And thus the alchemy, creating then the relationship, there would always be something new to learn or create, or co-create rather, inside of the relationship. So you'd never really get bored. Meaning like this whole thing of, you know, some conversations that have been like, oh, am I going to get bored with that partner? You know what I mean? Yes, the Classic Pisces. It's exactly what I'm talking about. I created a blueprint for it where it describes this, right? But yes. So yes, you can't be around someone that's always about me, 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 but you also can't be around somebody that's all about you, you, or you. If you're then that person that's all about you, 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 or if they're about them, them, that, right? Like it's both. It has to be a two-way street at all times. Two wholes to make a beautiful union. Yes. So what do we want to call that whole? Like you is that whole and then them is that whole, because that's not alpha. That's not alpha. It's like, so right, like we have alpha and then the omega, like the beginning and the ending. It's like if alpha and omega came together as one, so it'd be the beginning and the ending at the same time. It sounds weird, but it would be that. And we got to find that word. Yes, true. Yes, true. So whatever that is, that version, that. Yeah, let's just call it that. Congratulations, you are that. A wormhole? I don't know if I want to call myself a wormhole, but I get it. Okay, is that resonating though? Tooniverse? That's hilarious. Yes, divine partnership, but again, that's the relationship. That's what the two it's not alphas, right? It would be like saying as if two alphas came together, but we're not talking about alphas anymore. It's what those two partners would be, right? Yep, we say partners in shine, right? I've heard a few tribes using that one. Absolutely. Yep, divine union. That's talking about the relationship. But who are you in it? And who are they in it? New Earth Warrior. It's an authentic ship. I like that. Yes, the almond in the center, but that's what we're calling the almond. So I call that the Mandorla nexus. In the center is what I call Mandorla nexus. It's the almond shape of the Vesica Pisces. But that's the relationship. You're using archetypes. The priestess and the magician. Yeah, but who's the priestess? And then who's the magician? Oh, I like that, symbiosis. Yes. So, anyways, that's what I see as being like the next level name of the game in relating. But in order to do that, right, we also have to be in that game or that play ship of self-discovery and self-understanding and coming and bringing that level of you into wholeness, because there's still many aspects of us that are fragmentations based on our past experiences that have caused what I call fragmentations, right? I love what you guys are saying, and it's almost there, like sun and moon and yin and yang, exactly. And it would be like if the sun and the moon came together as one, what would be that? What would that be called? If the yin and the yang, if the black and the white, or the big part of the white and the big part of the black of the yin and yang, if that was to come together and merge as one, so that it wouldn't be that two halves of a whole, right? Like the whole system is the yin and yang. Yes, that's the relationship. But now what if you had a yin and a yang and a yin and a yang? Like a man who had yin and yang, or for every man, gay or straight, that had a balance of yin and yang within, and every woman, gay or straight, that had a balance of yin and yang within. And then if they came together, right? Eclipse. Might have something there, Liliana. I mean, yeah, it kind of would be an eclipse. Totally, totally. That makes 100%. This is mind-blowing. Okay. What's the topic? Does somebody want to explain what the topic is? It's not about who is who anymore. It's not about who is who anymore. You are your own complete wholeness. They are their own complete wholeness. They are their own sovereignty and their own sovereignty, and then coming together in that alliance, right? A miracle. Watch the replay. Exactly. I love you guys. You're so awesome. So all I'm saying is once we dive within, bring our fragmentations, those past experiences, releasing the past, healing all of those wounds, getting really clear on our own emotional mastery, our own spiritual higher awareness, our own higher mindset, integrating all of those, integrating your inner masculine and your feminine. Ooh, and there's yes. divine energy right now. Okay. And when that happens, when that full wholeness, then matching with the other wholeness of someone who's done the same. Does that make sense? I might be, sometimes I share things that's maybe it's too far out yet. I don't know. But who gets it? Who gets what I'm trying to say? I've seen this since I was given this huge vision. It was around 2012 when I was sitting on a rock meditating in Sedona. And they were like, this is what it looks like. I'm like, great. Okay. How am I supposed to explain this to people? And they're like, you were supposed to teach them about love. Okay. Yes, you guys get it. Okay, cool. So yeah. We'll get there. We'll get there. We are getting there. I love it. Yes, you guys all love it. And you're getting it. Okay, cool. And I love that you guys are all here because you're making it happen. You're all, whatever awareness, if it resonates with you at all, even if there's even a little epiphany, you're here that's making it happen. You got the tingling vibes of affirmation. Awesome. Okay, cool. And your ears are ringing. Okay, cool. I love that. I love how many empaths and intuitives there are in this soul circle. It's just one full person plus another full person creates a being of its own. What do you mean by a being of its own? Is that what you mean by like sovereignty? You can explain in words even in Spanish. We just have to come up with the word for it. I'm going to meditate on it. I'll come up with the word for it. But I mean, since 2012, I haven't been able to come up with the word for it. So we'll see. Maybe it's not fully here yet, right? Like it's like we can all see it. It's a concept. So that means it's still out in the ether. And the way that we're going to actualize it and make it happen is when we can like bring it down, give it something tangible, have the understanding of it, work on ourselves, right? Manifesting then the other partners that are working on themselves, having that like authentic relating means like authentic communication, just getting real. Like we all need to get way more real. Like who cares? It's almost like we've all been hurt. Everybody's had pretty much almost the same experience, man or woman, doesn't matter, right? So everybody's kind of been in the same boat. So now it's like talk about the stuff that we're not supposed to talk about. You know, they say like, oh, if you're, you know, even for those of you, like if you're going on a first date, you're not supposed to talk about politics or religion or, you know, your past dating experiences. It's like, who cares? Talk about your wounds, talk about your insecurities, talk about like, who cares? We got to stop putting so much like energy and meaning on all of that stuff when everybody, and have a little more compassion and just being authentic about it. Right? Who makes these rules? Exactly. Yes, it is true intimacy and speaking your raw truth. 100%. Yes. Okay. We're working on it. But like I said, the more that we can bring that awareness and then we anchor it in and then we actualize it by creating it with people. So even in your friendships, right? Even in your friendships, practicing that authenticity, sharing what your goals are, sharing what your insecurities are, being more vulnerable, all of that, right? Get emotionally naked. Yes. Yes, love when I say, what are you making it mean? Totally. What are you making it mean? Getting all the way away from that and just showing up fully authentic. Yes, I love that. Authentically naked. Naked. Not naked, naked. Okay. Okay, let's see. I love all your hearts. I love that you guys are resonating with this. Yes, yes, yes. How can you describe the difference between a meditative and a dumb person? That sounds like a weird, I don't know if I enjoy that question. Like, what's the dumb part? Are we judging them? And how do we know? I mean, a meditative person doesn't think. A dumb person too? Please explain. I'm confused. I'm not sure exactly what you mean by that. And I don't know. Would you go around calling somebody dumb for, like, how do you know? And are you sure they're dumb? I don't understand exactly that question. That one's not vibing right so well. So, yes, emotionally naked. Are we judging them? Yes. Okay. All right. Oh my gosh, you guys. All right. It's already 7:45. I'll get to cards. Have I ever felt... Have I ever felt if I've had branches coming out of your heart chakra, a weird sensation? Okay, interesting. All right, I'll tap into this just for a quick second. So what I have had, so I don't know, when you're saying branches, right? What I picture Care Bears, to be quite honest. Picture the, like, tender heart blast coming out. What that can be is, I did a video about lucid dreaming a couple weeks ago, but we can get into that next time. So the branches from the heart, what those could be is dimensional versions of you, right? They could, whenever you have a new thought or an idea or something to think about or something to do, you kind of like have this other dimensional self and it's figuring it out. It's like having multiple tabs open on your laptop or your computer, right? So you have like one tab open and another tab open and another tab open, and it can all come from your heart, since that's the center of your, like, being and translating all vibrational language and dimensional realities, right? And if it feels like it's too many, then call that energy back in, because it's like closing the tabs on all the windows, right? Or closing the tabs on your computer. Like, you have too many versions of you out doing too many things, and you might be experiencing, like, overwhelm. Is that resonating with answering your question? Because when you're saying branches coming out of your heart chakra, like, is it an uncomfortable feeling? Is it that maybe you might be sending, like, it's a two-way street? You might be doing something and giving energy towards a thing or a person or an experience. It could be past or present, potentially future sometimes, right? And maybe you're expelling too much energy out. And so you need to call in those, close the tabs. You just close the tabs. Right? It's like, have you ever had that happen in your computer? You have too many tabs open, and then all of a sudden your computer, like, freezes, and it's like, I need to shut down, because now you have 3 windows open with 20 tabs each on each window open. I mean, I don't do that ever at all. Control, Alt, Delete. Yes. Yes. Control, Alt, Delete. So for your dimensional selves, you just Control, Alt, Delete all of those dimensional selves, right? Either shut down the whole computer for a minute, go take a rest and recharge, or do like a visualization and pull those versions of those, you know, branches or tentacles, whatever you want to call it, back in to you, right? It was with another person in mind. Okay, perfect. So that means that could be a cord. Again, that's what I mean. You have some connection with another person, and now there's a stream of energy. And if it's taking your energy, then you have to know when to, like, that's part of healthy, that's energetic healthy boundaries. You have to know when to, doesn't mean you have to, like, cut that cord, but it means, like, are they still pulling some of your energy and attention when you're not meaning to, like, give it, right? And I want to say not meaning, like, to give it, like, as if you're taking it away. But we don't need to be giving people energy all the time, right? again, energetic, healthy boundaries. Pull those back so that then you can be giving that energy to you, right? Yes, and unhook. Exactly. Cards. Thank you, babes. Okay. You got this one again. Vision of life beyond death. Vision of life beyond death. So that one came up actually. When was that? Okay. I feel like I've explained this one so many times and it's the same thing coming up, but it feels like a broken record. There's still so much releasing. I feel like everything that we've also like talked about even in tonight, there's so much, there's versions of you that you need to be releasing. There's those cords, right, that you need to be unhooking and releasing, and getting in touch with, like, after all that's done, creating that vision for what it's going to be in the future. I've said so many times that one of the biggest reasons why we don't know how to let go of the past is because we're not focusing on our future vision. One of the biggest reasons why we're not moving on from our past, whatever that is because we're not setting that future vision. And vision is huge for anything. It's not just goal setting. I'm not just talking about goal setting. I'm like, how do you want something to feel? How do you want something to look? How do you want to show up? What do you stand for, right? All of those things, from like coming out from the ashes of the phoenix, whatever that mini death is, focusing on the vision and the future of where it is that you're going. This is springtime too, depending on where you are in the world, right? If you're in Australia, it's opposite, but here on this side, we're springtime. So we're moving in the direction of where, like, everything's coming into bloom now, right? Yes, release the fears. Get naked. Maybe we need to just release some clothes. We need to release some baggage. We need to release all of that stuff. And then it's like, okay, what's the new outfit that you want? What's the new pair of shoes that you want? Like, do a whole overhaul. Do a revamp. Do a reinvention. Do a, like, you know, have you ever done that where you've like thrown out like half of your wardrobe and donated it to like Goodwill or something like that, and then bought yourself a whole new wardrobe? It's like, what is the vision of what you want that to look like? Release all of it so that then you can like start anew, right? And in order to do that, releasing whatever that fear is of believing with whatever that identity of who you are now, thinking that that is your true identity. It doesn't have to be. If you're unhappy in any way, shape, or form, you're running an identity that has been from past programs, and that's not an identity that's fully in alignment with your most highest authentic version of you. Right? Spiritual cleansing. Hello, spring clinging. Spring cleansing, right? Cleansing, but visualizing future vision. And it's vision, but she has her eyes closed. So yes, it's like, okay, what is it going to look like? All of that fun stuff. But like, close your eyes and go within and visualize. Like, one of the things I used to absolutely love doing is daydreaming. I called it fake dreaming, right? But like, I would close my eyes at night and I would just visualize worlds. Granted, I didn't know at the time I was astral projecting, so you can end up doing that as well. Point is, closing your eyes and visualizing, not trying to create your reality of what's going to happen or what it's going to look like outside of you, because that's the echo. Create that tone within. That's the true vision. And then letting everything outside of you show up in that way. Right? So yes, do the fun play stuff. Like, what do you want in the wardrobe to look like? All of that stuff. But truly, like, close your eyes and go within and create that vision from within. Right? I have this whole vision of like girls wearing like lace blindfolds. Right? Might be the Libra thing, right? Because she's blindfolded and she's got the balance. They say because justice is blind, but it's not really blind. It's like you're weighing, you're closing your eyes to then weigh what it is that you truly want, right? Not looking outside of you to come up with what you think that you want, what you think it's going to look like. Tell me what it's going to feel like first, and then let it show up. with whatever it's going to look like. Restore, replenish. Huge, 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 huge right now. Restore, replenish. You have to take care of yourself. This is huge around body. This is huge around emotions. So whether it's getting the tools to then working on yourself, deepening your own self-awareness of self-love, all of that stuff, or if you're just making sure your nutrition, right? Go to a nutritionalist, whatever you need, right? Making sure you're getting enough rest. Your body cannot support itself in detoxing. It can't support itself in getting rid of, like, what's the right word that I can't think of right now? Cleansing. Your body can't cleanse if you're not sleeping. So if you're burnt out, right, your body's not going to like do what it's supposed to do. And that's like driving a car with no gas. Yes, been pulling this card a lot. Because how many people feel like they're in adrenal burnout right now? Do you even know what that is? Do you even know what that feels like? The majority of us are running by sheer will, our mind, right? We're looking outside of ourselves saying, this doesn't look the way that I want to, and I have to keep doing in order to make this look the way that I think that it's supposed to, rather than closing your eyes, getting the vision, and going and recharging so that you can replenish yourself, and then you can actually have the energy to bring in all of that creative energy, right? And yes, there's a lot of solar flares going on. Our electromagnetic frequencies are at an all-time high. So more people are stressed, having anxiety and insomnia, and just like fear and not sleeping, right? So we have a lot of external or environmental factors that are burning our adrenals out, quite frankly. So we have to recharge, we have to replenish ourselves and not drive the car without gas. Can't drive a car without gas or putting some really crappy gas in it, right? This one we haven't gotten in a minute, but we got it a couple weeks ago. The word wants to be written. Write your story. Visualize, go within, recharge, write your story. I feel like it's very similar messaging that's been coming up, and I've shuffled these like I don't know how many times. So it's still in the field. Recharge, visualize, write it. Now that you've visualized it, now write it down, manifest it, right? Feeling your body vibrating the last few weeks. Could be a lot of different reasons for that. This is a good one. Faith in the process. Faith in the process. You have to remember that, like I love, she's got birds, she's on also a little kid wheelbarrow. Do you guys see that? Do you remember those when you were a little kid? Like the little 5-year-old wheelbarrow? And she's naked. Naked, right here. Full on. Trust the process. Yes, it's going to be okay, right? Faith in the process, but she is fully naked. She is fully vulnerable. She is fully letting go of whatever those expectations, belief systems, false identity, all of the above, and then just trusting and having faith that it's going to, her reality will be created based on the tone that she sets. Surrender. Yes, love that. Full faith in the process, okay? And again, oh, come on, I love this. Paint it, make it come to life. Like all of these go in perfect sync with, yes, what we were talking about, but everything in close your eyes, get in touch with what you want it to feel like, not what you want it to look like. Restore, replenish, then write it down, then have faith in the process. This is like a step-by-step playbook on how to manifest, and then bring it to life. And she's black and white too, and she's painted in color. That's so interesting. She's black and white, and the wheelbarrow's in color. The car, right, that doesn't have any gas in it, doesn't have anybody pulling it. She's got to pull it herself. Nobody else is going to pull that shit for her. But that's the only one that's in color, and then she's painting herself in color, and she's black and white. Create your own reality. consciously create your own reality. We're creating our reality all the time, but are we consciously creating our own reality and thus then our relationships? And we're not consciously creating our reality if we're running those false identities or those past programs of fear or whatever that is or has been for you in the past. That is creating your reality. But are you in response? Is your reality in response to your past? Or is your reality in the future vision of what you're writing? You're welcome. Helpful? That's the name of the game. And I posted on IGTV the whole week. We did business and personal. So that's on my IGTV and it's on YouTube as well. So, you know, if this message resonates with you, or if on my IGTV, if any of those resonate with you, open up the link for it. You can hit the little 3 dots and it says copy link. Share it with a friend of yours. Share it with a family member, somebody that you feel like would resonate with this message, somebody that then you can have that relating and talk about it and then support each other in the same process, right? Yes, takes a lot of faith, but you are faith. You are the full vibrational alignment to God, Christ, consciousness, whatever it is that you want to call it. It's basically the energy that creates everything. It's you. It's all you. And that should be really, really fun, not really, really scary. Yes, this resonates. Okay, cool. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in for Soul Circle Tuesday. I do Self-Love Sunday at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This is Soul Circle Tuesday, every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I am Serah Delane, the Conscious Lifestylist. You guys know if you want help on the relationships and your self-love and personal development and releasing all of those, book a session. Let's get you guys to the next level. Bless you so much. I love you guys so much. And how do you manifest through trauma? Exactly. You have to release all that stuff. So if you guys want help with that, you know where to book sessions for that. I'm here to support you in everybody getting to that next level. That's the name of the game. I teach about love. I love you all. Thank you so much. And I will see you on Sunday for Self-Love Sunday. Mwah. Bye, babes. Have an amazing week. Bye, YouTube.